Welcome back, everybody, to WCS Austin EU Challenger, where we have arrived at our top four. Top four, of course, was important because those 4 players will represent Europe. They'll get direct seats into WCS Austin. There's no difference between 4th and 3rd place in WCS points and prize money, which is kind of funny, actually, but there is obviously the chance to still place top 2 or even win the entire thing.
Yeah.
So if you want to keep your dreams alive with a big payday, you got to win here. The game is already live, so we can go ahead and jump into our first set between these 2 fantastic players. Almost ruined it there, Todd.
Go ahead.
Over here on the left top side, looking in the main base of our Liquid Zerg, it's Snute.
His opponents going for an early pull. Once again, it is Nerchio in the bottom right. That may be necessary as well. Now that we know the 4 players that have qualified for Europe, by the way, we already had the North American qualifiers earlier and the Southeast Asian ones. So we know the first 10 players that are going to be playing in Austin. For Protoss, that's Snib, Puck, Pili Pili, Probe, and Showtime. Terran, Major, and Iagas. And for Zerg, Cham, Jon Snow, Serral, Nerchio, and Snute. A pretty good list.
Yeah, super good list.
5 Protoss, 5 Zergs, and 2 Terrans.
Fun
the balance is perfect!
Fun to see Probe as well, because I always feel that Probe looks like a younger brother of Snute.
Yeah.
They look a lot like each
They're like
other.
twin bros, man.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know how that happened. One is Norwegian, the other one is Australian, but they look a lot like each other.
Imagine if they have to play each other, production is going to be confused.
Yep, for the first time, all white guys will look alike.
They try to switch from one another, like show the wrong one. Wouldn't be the first time, to be honest.
All right, the Lynx making their way across the map for Nerchio. Snute is going to have to once again. Snute's probably like gone.
Yeah, he's probably like...
I can't catch a break today. Yeah. It's like I thought
What
my
is this, a
series...
conspiracy? Like what next? Serral will do this too if I win?
Yeah, I thought my series against early pools were over after I moved on against Blythe. Snute's hatchery is taking a lot of damage. Seems like he's not going to make an effort on keeping it alive. No, he's not. He's just going to send the 2 Lynx across the map just like he did earlier. Well, that's not a fantastic start for Snute. Obviously quite nice for Nerchio, especially because Nerchio didn't go all out with this.
Snute trying to buy some time with those links. He's going to do just that. Nerchio now with the 2nd base up. And Snute's going to get the bad news here in a little bit with his first 2 links
Do you think
that are almost across the map.
Do you think that Snute is going to try to counter with just Link Bane all in, knowing that Nerchio is going to be gasless?
Yeah, I think it would be smart actually to do that.
Especially if he can pick off a couple
Nerchio is hanging around on this side of the map for a long time.
Yeah, he's going to lose the majority of his links here. He gets a decent fight there, but he's just outnumbered. So in the end, he's going to end up losing most of his links. Look at Snute's links trying to go for the cutoff. Nope, not fast enough.
Nerchio's going to need a ton of queens to have a chance to hold on. He's got three queens right now, a 4th one on the way. And Snute's droning up. He just can't help himself, man.
Oh, this is nice, though. Nerchio separated 2 links to deal with the 2 links of Snute, but Snute had speed, so he out-microed it. It's going to force Nerchio to pull a couple of drones to the right top side. Will it be in time? Yes, it is in time. Now Snute is going to run into the natural. He's going to get the wraparound on this spine immediately. Can he get a queen? The queen's a little bit out of position. I actually think this is promising, right, for Snute?
No, he pulls back.
Was there energy? No.
Didn't want to lose all his Zerglings, and there was 3 queens in position here, plus reinforcing Zerglings for Nerchio.
Well, these 2 links have been super annoying for Nerchio. Still has to worry about it.
So Snute made the most of the situation. He forced a ton of links out of Nerchio. He forced him to get a lot of queens, which I mean, sure, it's going to give him a good defensive capability, and maybe he can crit spread, but it doesn't really achieve any more than that. Like, you can't over-inject, as it doesn't add up.
+1 melee on the way now for Snute, so it seems like Snute is actually quite happy with the damage that he's done, mostly indirect damage, forcing a couple of cancels on spines and forcing Nerchio to run around a little bit and kind of just scaring Nerchio, losing some mining time. He didn't get many kills there, but definitely slowed the economy down.
Is that it? That's not a perfect wall, is it?
For... No. Well, no, the queens can go here on the right side.
Or maybe not.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was looking at it, I was like...
There's a moment
I
where
got a bad feeling about this one.
your butt is too big. Would have been alright for Lynx though, I think, right?
I don't think so. Neither.
Well, Lynx
Maybe
are gonna
cancel on 3rd base.
That's actually a little sloppy. That's not supposed to happen. These are slow Lynx. Nerchio is slow Lynx. He's gonna cancel on Snute's 3rd base. Plus Snute had defensive banes ready.
Snute really likes that +1 melee here early on from that Evo. Whatever happened to +1 missile and Roach Wars? They've had quite a few in the past.
Yeah. He's trying to be a creative, thinking outside the box. What I do like about +1 melee is that even if this would turn into a Roach War, if you have enough links with +1 are really good in cutting off reinforcements, right? Queens are a little bit exposed, gonna force Nerchio to transfuse here, and that's exactly what happens. Nerchio, where are your units? I mean, Queens are good, but against this many links, I guess it's good enough. Because of all the energy that these Queens have gathered up.
+1 missile on the way here for Nerchio, who's gonna be starting his 3rd hatchery. What's the argument, you think, for him to take it on this side as opposed to 6 o'clock?
I don't think it makes a massive difference. Maybe a tiny bit easier to defend against links, and maybe it's a little harder to spot Bane links coming in. Like Bane links could hide here, and I don't know. I don't think there's a very big difference though. He's gonna see these links coming in, but with Roaches, Nerchio's going to be safe for now. Starts his speed, has a slightly better attack.
He has a supply lead actually. Doing a pretty good job. Couple of walkers ahead. A little bit more army as well. Snoot's gonna be going for the Spire though.
It's the first time we're gonna see Snute bust out the Spire.
And yeah, actually behind the +1 melee, instead of going for the +1 missile, he went for Carapace. So maybe wanting to play a different style here. Zergling heavy with the Mutas in support to snipe the Overlords in the middle of the map. Gain map control and then later go into Roaches.
Yeah, I can definitely get behind Mutas cross-map Cactus Valley, right? And upgraded Link playstyles as well, because it's pretty hard for Roaches to make their way across the map. Queens will almost never march across the map, so you almost force your opponent to play super defensive as soon as the Mutas are out. I'm not sure how big of a fan Nerchio will be of that.
And also, how is Nerchio supposed to find out about this? Like,
yeah, that's a lot of links, but I mean, so much energy available on these Queens that it's unlikely Snute wants to throw away all these links. He gets a Roach. The Roach was super lost.
yeah, well, what was he doing there?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
Wandering around.
Nerchio did have an overseer. Did he see the Spire? No, he didn't. He hasn't been in the main for a long time. Gets +2 now already, but no Hydra there, no Infestation Pit.
If Nerchio goes for an attack, then he's exposed to a counter attack, but then Snute would die at home as well, so he might have to defend.
Snute is just going to use the Mutas though to clean this out. Like this time I really don't think this Roach attack can get it done. And there's quite a few links as well, and you have to respect those links with their upgrades. So the Roaches will be wasting time killing the links, and then the Mutas...
They're not quite Void Rays, but they are strong.
Yep. I mean, maybe the hatch, that's I feel like almost the most that Nerchio can hope for. He's going to jump on top of these hatch and he will be able to get it. But
Snoot's going for the surround with the Zerglings.
These Roaches are all super dead, Todd.
And the hatchery is not even going to die unless he targets it. But then these Roaches will die right after. And a lot of units will be left over for Snute there. He's going to have a supply lead against a Zerg who's going Roaches.
And does Snute actually, does Nerchio have enough anti-air here? I mean, I guess 3 Queens in the Spore, that's pretty good. But it's going to be a lot of lanes, and Snute is obviously going to use this, you know, this window here or this space, I should say. That's kind of hard to defend for Nerchio with the units that he's working with. That Spore is probably going to get cancelled immediately. He'd like to get the Queens. Does he get a surround on the Queens? He sort of does with the Lynx and the Mutas. Is there an answer against this Air Force from Snute? The Spore does finish up. But
he could target the Spore.
Yeah. If he gets this Spore here, which, well, maybe he can just kill the hatch without killing the Spore.
Yeah, he's going for the Spore with those links here. Oh, he didn't target.
Nerchio is sending units across the map as well, trying to counterattack, forcing these Mutas to come at home. That's actually pretty smart. It obviously means that these Roaches are going to die, but I think that's better than losing your 3rd base and losing that Spore.
Yeah, Snoot's behind on Walkers still. He needs to make sure he doesn't lose any more here, or it will be disastrous. He's going to try to rejoin that position with his Mutas. Link's doing a little bit of buying time.
It's probably like 6-7 dead drones, right? Good to see. These Roaches will fall, but not before. Taking quite a few drones with them to the grave. 8 Walkers actually going down. 9 in total. Excellent counterattack. Getting 9 drones and keeping this base alive. Keeping this Spore alive.
And in the meantime, Snute, his 3rd hatcheries was so delayed. He's going to double expand off the back of this. Nerchio now going into Infestors. Didn't quite get Pathogen Glance. He goes into Tunneling Claws as well. He's got enough Spores, I think, to be safe at home, and he's in a really good position. Snute, though, with a very bold move there. I was wondering about this Hydralis Den he went into, but straight into Lurker Den. He's got quite a bit of gas, because he's going Links and adding Mutas, and he hasn't made that many Mutas. So if he was able to reach Lurkers We might be headed for a split map, Roddy.
Split map Cactus Valley.
You can only wish so.
No, I think that's going to be hard, Todd. But lurkers are obviously fantastic on the ground, especially because we don't have a single Ravager yet. It kind of reminds me a little bit of how Solar likes to play. And Solar often goes for Spire and then goes into straight lurkers as well. Something we saw a couple of times. I think even at BlizzCon he did it against Elaser. On that map that looks like Cloud Kingdom, but isn't Cloud Kingdom. It's been a long week, though.
I love it when you say something like this and then you just laugh at what you just said yourself. This is the best.
It's because obviously I don't know the name of the actual map. 2 burrowed infestors.
That's a lot of infestors, by the way. Oh my god, is only 6 more. There's going to be 10 in total. Sickest hit squad.
Drop some.
There is an overseer with the mutas, but they clump up very easily. Is it going to be the Dream Fungal, Roddy?
Well, at first I think we're looking at the Dream infested Terrans, but there should be not enough DPS. He wants to go into the natural. Is there any? Oh, he's going to spot the lurkers, and then he might also get. Oh my god, this is actually really sick. Oh, what an attack by Nerchio!
If he fungals this mineral line, it's going to be a lot of dead drones very quickly here.
I love it. That's.
Surprise!
Go infested Terrans. Oh, the lurkers will clean that up. I think Fungal would have.
Oh, he killed.
Wow.
He did the same on the 3rd base at the same time. So
that's actually sick.
Oh!
Getting 10 drones total. Doing quite some damage to this hatch, but he won't get it. And don't forget, this one infestor is still alive.
Only 10 drones. I thought it was going to be worse, but Snute reacted quickly. I feel like 4 auto turrets would have done more than this.
I think 4 Fungals would have done more as well.
Yeah, maybe he should have been patient. Maybe worried that there could be an overseer around and then eventually Snute could find this. But this army, though, that's moving out right now by Nerchio, it's looking very scary.
Is there an answer against lurkers, though? And when he needs to get out, Neuroparasite.
Corrosive Bite, I guess, from afar.
Yeah, but it's 3. Against all these lurkers from Snute? 8 lurkers?
No, he's got 5 Ravagers. And he got nothing but time.
Where are they? I only see 3. Oh, no.
You alright, man?
No, I'm not alright. I've seen too many StarCraft units today. I could swear on everything that I have in life, which may not be much, that I just saw 3 Ravages. It was 5.
The hatchery, by the way, at 12 o'clock is basically asking to die. Being solo on hit points for such a long time.
How many queens does Snute have? Just 3, so you can't really transfuse it. Well, it may not be split map, but these lurkers are definitely buying time.
I'm worried about these mutas. If the fungal lands,
I think they mostly did that job, right? Obviously, you don't want to throw them away, Fungals! I'm gonna connect with 5 of them. Oh, the other ones are flying in pretty dangerous waters as well. 5 mutas die. They get absolutely nothing done. Snute getting his own additional Hydras now.
There's so many avenues to cover with the lurkers that if Nerchio started splitting his army and attacked in many places at once, it would be super hard for Snute to actually hold on, but Nerchio's being extremely patient here with this.
Which we know he's very capable of. There's definitely a lot of pride on the line here as well. I mean, the price difference between 4th and 3rd is not there. Obviously, top 2 does pay better. But these 2 guys, you know, they always have a rivalry and they run into each other a lot. So whenever there is an official series, lurkers look so cute when I get back.
Whoever loses here comes 4th in this tournament. I don't think either of these players will be content with just 4th, as much as they are qualified in terms of actually being able to say you're the best European.
I think top 4 is probably where they set the bar for themselves, right? Like anything plus top 4, I kind of think they consider.
Oh, never mind. I didn't say anything. You know what?
I mean,
why are we even playing this?
Because money, Todd.
PJ Salt.
Money and WCS points. Obviously, that is nice, though. I mean, we saw in a couple of the other years. You make a good point there that at the end of the year, 20, 30, 40 points sometimes actually makes the difference. So that is obviously the most important thing.
How's the bite gonna land here? That one lurker is just one of them, though.
It's not enough. Nerchio's getting his own roach wine now.
That is a lot of lurkers. Oh my goodness.
It's a lot of Vipers as well. So Vipers are going to be the answer against the lurkers.
Okay, can you guess how many lurkers Snute has?
Well, he had 8, and then I saw 4 more morphs, so I say 12, but he probably has like 2 more, so I'd say 14.
23.
What? 23?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I saw it too.
Oh my
They're
God.
like spread out. He's got some on the left hand. Nerchio must be confused.
Yeah, but
He's like, these guys are moving way faster than I thought. That's because they're not moving. They're all over the place.
Well, Fungo is
Blinding
going
Clouds.
Oh, that's sick though.
Gonna be used on top of these. These lurkers are gonna start dying. Snute needs to move the right hand side lurkers. What is this?
Oh my God. It's 3 units. More lurkers getting abducted now as well. Nerchio just used an insane amount of energy, but he's just murdering everything that Snute had. How to deal with a Zerg that has 24 lurkers? Well, energy, Todd. Abducts, Blinding Cloud, and Infested Terrans. What a sick fight there by Nerchio. That's amazing. Wow. I love this as well. They're expanding actually quite close towards each other. Can almost see it in one screen. Not totally.
Isn't that a Drake song? Like the energy one?
I've
I
got
got
energy.
enemies, got a lot of enemies.
Yeah.
They're trying to take my energy.
Trying to stay away from the lurkers. Oh, he didn't say that. That's what he should have done. Maybe in a remix stuff. Now Snute is gonna get his own 8 lurkers. Oh, excuse me, Vipers. So we're gonna have Viper Wars. Gonna be abduct against abduct, blinding clouds on each side.
Snute's economy is in the toilet though. After that attack, not being able to mine anymore from that base, pretty disastrous.
Yeah, he's pretty broke.
He's trying to recover 1 transfuse at a time. He just transfused one of his lurkers on that left-hand side base with the queen.
I love that attack though. I mean, that was a great attack by Nerchio. He saved all game long. Gonna be able to do it again. A couple of abducts will be used immediately. Actually, accidentally abducts an Overlord there. That lurker tried to run away, but Nerchio went full Scorpion mode. Said, "Get over here!" And that's gonna be it. GG. Scorpion will take the lead in this best of 5. 1-0. You remember that movie, the Mortal Kombat movie? God, that was a bad movie. When I was young, I thought it was the coolest movie
Yeah,
ever.
same. I thought the music was the best.
Yeah.
I went to watch
Mortal
it alone in the
Kombat!
theater.
Yeah, well, that was actually really cool. No matter how old we are, that was really cool. The actual
Yeah.
movie.
The music was.
Yeah. Oh well, so Nerchio takes a 1-0 lead. Pretty fun game though, all jokes aside, all memes aside. That was a fun, interesting ZvZ. Started off well. I think the second Roach counterattack was brilliant. I think the first one didn't really get done, but he was hoping for. The hatch was nice, but
Yeah.
all those roaches. But the second one, those 9-10 roaches, getting those 10 drones, and then obviously eventually the Infestor arrest as well. Just cool stuff from Nerchio.
Yeah, and I think there's always a nice advantage to have when you've just watched somebody play in a matchup just right before and you were waiting and thinking about what build you were going to do. That definitely plays a little bit in his favor in this case.
Should I even say it, Todd?
What?
Our second map is going to be played.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
You guys already know. I don't even have to say it. I'm gonna let the players know that we're
I was
ready.
wondering why you're smiling.
Because
I was like, I know it's something silly, but I don't know what it is.
well, this is like the 14th best of 5 in a row where the second map is being played on Abyssal Reef. So it's definitely saying that we're starting to notice a trend would be the understatement of the century. After this, we have 2 more best of 5. The winner of this one will go up against Zero, while Showtime is waiting in the grand finals. We suggested early today that maybe he should be going for a run. How many kilometers do you think Showtime has done today?
Good old 10.
Yeah, at least a 10K,
Something,
right?
Yeah. Cheeky 10K.
That's what I'm expecting as well. Anything less would
He's
be
a pretty fit nerd.
anything less would be a disappointment.
I bet
so.
he doesn't even eat that healthy.
Wow.
Like he just happens to be like a fit nerd. Who
I mean,
walks
I
on
guess
stuff.
you can eat quite a few schnitzels and bratwursts.
Yeah, because he lives with his parents, so I'm pretty sure they make like, yeah, exactly that. Schnitzels, bratwurst, sauerkraut, like whatever.
Kartoffelen.
Kartoffel salad.
Yeah, well, that's the way to go. We're loading into game number 2. Tweet at us, Showtime. Let us know how many kilometers did you run today.
And what did you eat?
That too. I can't imagine that Showtime would have just waited, because I think it's very draining. Like playing a lot of games in a row can be draining.
Yeah.
But playing your first series of the day at 4:30 p.m. and then playing a grand finals at 11, I think the last thing you want to do is just stare at the screen all day, because you'll get burned out.
Oh, you can play in the meantime. Make sure you stay warm, so
Of course, but a couple games though. Like if he would be grinding non-stop, that would mean that by the time he plays his grand finals.
Games. You really think you make it to the 7K club with a couple games?
Oh, man. I don't know. I think even Showtime after like 30, 35 games, he's probably not on his A game anymore. And obviously when you play for money and WCS points and the prestige of being called WCS Austin EU Challenger Champ, you don't want to overdo it. Over here, in the left top side, looking in the main base. By Norwegian Zerk, he's down 0-1 against one of his rivals. It's Snute.
Going for a quick extractor. Enough is enough, Roddy. And his opponent going gasless once more in the reds from Poland. It is Nerchio.
Nerchio has absolutely fallen in love with the early pools, yeah? PVZ, or excuse me, CVP, and ZvZ 2 games in a row as well.
As long as he doesn't start doing it against Terran, I think he'll be fine.
Well, we've never seen him on Paladino. I just go for it.
In before, cheeky 6 links against Bjorn. Where's your micro now?
Somehow
Show
gets us around.
Yeah.
Bjorn throws a grenade and the links like end up surrounding the Reaper.
He propels himself in the middle of the links.
Yeah, that's the only way that could ever work. And even then, it's just going to repair the defaults. So Nerchio once again going for that pool, gasless expand. Snute this time is going to try to counter it. Open up with link speed, keeps 2 drones on the extractor, will throw down his Baneling nest. He's going to take that link fight, and if he can get a favorable fight, he's obviously going to apply the pressure on the other side of the map. We're going to see some real designated pressure coming out of our Norwegian Zerk.
Nerchio spots there is no hatchery, and the natural immediately pulls back home. He knows what he's in for. Just going to have to be a good defense.
Yeah, which is smart and makes sense, right? There's really no point in fighting early pool against early pool on the other side of the map.
What are those 4 links on the map for? Does he actually want to counterattack with that, or?
I'm not exactly sure. Maybe try to cut off reinforcements that come in 2 at a time.
He's looking for banelings that he thought could have been morphing,
Yeah.
I think, near his base.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because he didn't know which exact timing it is.
Meanwhile, Snute was scouting around as well. Snute is going to drop down his own hatchery, but I'm still expecting Snute to at least be well, maybe he doesn't want to be aggressive. Maybe he just feels that Nerchio is good enough knowing that he needs to react. He needs to respect the build from Snute. And then Snute is like, well, I know that he's going to make a spine and he's not going to mine from the natural anyway. So that is my way to get back into this game.
Snute is morphing banelings at home, 4 of them. That's like a Blyesque move. He hasn't seen the hatchery yet on the natural of Nerchio. He might be misreading this completely. Because he saw links come back. I feel like Nerchio sold the story to Snute and Snute ate it up. He's like, yeah, I believe you. You're going to be aggressive. Let me just set up defensively. Nerchio must be confused as well because he probably thought that Snute was going to attack for the longest time and he didn't. And he's like, wait, what?
They're probably both a tiny bit confused now, wondering what exactly is going on. Snute is 4 workers ahead though, so he has that going for himself. But there were 2 drones on the way and now 5 more are morphing. So economically, obviously, you like Nerchio's position because even though you open up with the early pool, he got a much quicker expand, so more LFA to work with.
It's about to be a whole lot of drones ahead.
I think a relatively quick evo here. Could just be for wall-off, could also be maybe for some Dropperlord play later, the way that Bly likes to do it. Look at this Overlord, Todd. Do you think he has dreams and ambitions to become a Dropperlord?
He does, but he will be spotted here in this case. Not like Bly's Overlords,
but this
that
looks
never
like
get detected somehow.
But this looks like a very unmotivated Overlord. This one obviously has no ambitions. This one is dreaming of something. We've got a little bit of skirmish.
Quinn's moving in the middle of the map. You have to chase that Overlord.
Yeah, that's nice.
They move really far out of position, but... oh, actually, yeah, there's no inject for some time on the natural here for Nerchio. So even though he gets an Overlord, Snute is getting ahead in walkers. And when Snute gets ahead in walkers, guess what? The supply duplicates and explodes out of control.
Yeah, Nerchio had 9 on the way though, so I think he's, he's more than fine. Not a lot has happened other than that Overlord. That Overlord was first blood. Now maybe a couple of links will get picked off. Exactly a couple. No, 3. That's literally more than a couple, thought. As the layer is halfway done for Snute. And Nerchio starting his own layer on the other side of the map. +1 missile attacks on the way for both players. You ask for some Roach Wars? Here you have it.
You gotta make Pig happy somehow, right? Like
yeah. Pig is dying over here in Australia. He's like, guys, 6 AM, Melbourne time. Where are my roaches?
He's thirsty for some roaches.
Yeah.
Give them to me.
Like Pig's body is like dehydrated.
I'll do as many dailies as you want.
If he doesn't see roaches, he's like, I'm getting a headache from all these links and baits. Like, I really need to be hydrated with some roaches.
He starts shaking.
Showing signs of withdrawal. He's like, that's the stuff.
That's some good one. Oh, man.
These links.
I'm glad we can have so much fun with just like some random pig memes.
Oh, we know that Pig loves them as well. It's kind of an even fight there. 12 links dying on the side of Nerchio, 7 links dying on the side of Snute, and I believe 1 Bane was blown up there as well. Yeah, there's no other way to look at it. What I'm curious about now is when are we going to see something different, you know, when it comes to the build orders. Who's going to drop maybe a Hydra Den, who's going to go heavier on the Ravages, or who's going to drop the Infestation Pit? And that is going to be Nerchio. So Nerchio is the player that's going to go into Infestus first. Snute is building 5 Overlords at once, which could give us the idea that he's looking for some good old +1 roach action.
Yeah, with the Infestation Pits, though, a lot of options
Oh, good scout.
open themselves up for Nerchio.
Well, Snute knows what time it is, and he also knows that Pathogen Glance is not really being researched anymore, so there is a moment that perhaps he can fight +1 against +1, Roach against Roach, but Nerchio gets a couple of Infested that, other than a few Infested Terrans,
Yeah.
won't really add anything to the battle.
You know what would be a sick mind game? He just takes straight to Hive and goes into +3 missile. And dies just before because he takes forever to complete that upgrade.
This is pretty expensive. It's a lot of gas. I think
Good thing that he's rich.
Snute is gonna go for it. He scouted the Infestation Pit. I think he just wants to make it happen. Creating a little bit of a creep highway for himself as well. Getting some real throwbacks to 2012. Here we go, Todd. Snute is gonna attack for the first time for real in this game. Obviously a couple links on the other side.
The first real attack.
Yep. But I mean, the army supplies are almost...
Nerchio's ready, I think.
Yeah, it's a little too close. Too close for comfort.
Do we get so many Steph Curry in these games, by the way? Again, it's just the one single Infestor on the way. Not going to have the energy just yet for a Fungal. Baneling's rolling there here for Snute, who's going to be chased back.
Ah, that's a perfect hold for Nerchio. Now Nerchio could potentially add a few more Infestors if he wants. But that was really good. He didn't overreact. It wasn't too greedy. Didn't immediately make like 5 Infestors. And Snute is actually kind of creating an uncomfortable position for himself.
He's going for the Hyun build here. Tunneling Claws, Burrow, and he's going to want to be active everywhere on the map with his roaches shocking around.
Nerchio has way more Ravages. He has 7. Snute doesn't have a single one. Don't forget about this one Infested that could land a Fungal. And also +2 is a little faster for Nerchio.
But Snute has way more roaches. 36 against 25 right now.
Yeah, I mean, Fungal is good, Ravages are good. Ravages kind of count as a Roach though, so... Now Snute is getting his own 4 Ravages as well. Snute is a little bit out of position. Maybe Nerchio can just get a kill on this hatch and then back off. Wouldn't that be great? Instead, he decides to go for...
oh, the force field Fungal.
Yeah, but... I don't know. I would have loved to see him just get the hatch and get the hell out of there. He gets 9 drones, which is obviously not bad, but at what cost, Todd? At the cost of quite a few of his own Roaches. Obviously, he's remaking them at home.
Snute on the chase here. If he could get these Ravagers, that would be great. He still has to dodge Corrosive Bile, though. Nerchio knows that. He's going to spam that right behind his army.
Safe to say that was still a success, though, for Nerchio, as he's up in supply and he has the +2.
There's not many overseers, by the way. I think for Nerchio, there's 2. So these burrowed roaches that we could see from the Snute might be very dangerous there.
Yeah, Snute is just like almost maxed out on roaches. It's gonna be hard to attack through this. There's not a single Infestor on the map now, but there are a couple of Ravages, and attacking into Ravages still hard. He's gonna burrow a couple of his roaches, reveal the fact.
That's a bit weird.
Actually, he burrowed almost all of them. Now he unburrows. He's just healing up. Ooh, this is gonna be top 5 for Nerchio, I think. Concave was a little bit better there for Snute.
I'm surprised he's not sending anything like on the right-hand side of stuff. A sick wall by Nerchio around his natural to make sure no roaches get in there. That is so smart.
No detection. But yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but like they couldn't go through anyway.
They'd have to come all the way via this side or that side, and there's obviously detection there.
And Snute going for centrifugal hooks, so he's going to want to add Banelings here to this composition to try and blow up the clumped up units of Nerchio. Snute moving right in there here for the attack. Some Corrosive Bile are going to land on top of this.
Yeah, Snute feeling that Nerchio was a little bit out of position there, and he jumped on the opportunity. And it seems like he was pretty damn right, as that was definitely a much better fight for Snute than before. But he's going to back off, worried about all those reinforcements. He has 17 extra roaches on the way. Doesn't want to push the issue too much further.
Yeah, he's just going to regenerate and keep on pressuring forward here in that location.
Okay.
Spamming corrosive bile where the army of Nerchio might be trapped between the edge of the map and his hatchery.
Well, I mean, he has to, right? It's 4 base against 3, and it's 59 drones against 47. So the Norwegian Zerg needs to make something happen here. He's going to be able to pick up this hatch with relative ease. And doesn't really lose that many units in the process.
Oh, the corrosive bile lands on some of these Ravagers of Nerchio here. And behind this, 18 Zerglings are going to start here for Snute, who I'm a little bit surprised hasn't taken a fourth base yet. But if you look at his economy, I guess he's just going all in here with these 47 drones to 58 right now.
He's just a little too broke. Well, those Ravagers were not ready yet. A couple of good corrosive balls there by our Norwegian Zerg. Nerchio having a hard time really finding the army that he's looking for. And a lot of his roaches start have been taking a little bit of a beating.
All right, it's Baning time.
Where are they?
Behind this army, I guess.
18 links.
He's going to try to engage first, force corrosive bile and then roll in there. But if you're Nerchio, I don't think it should be that hard to kite and pull back. Then again, I don't play Zerg. Against Banelings, it might be pretty difficult to make sure he gets the right splits. Infestors, though, going to be a real danger. And Overlords, look at this. They're going to spread out everywhere. Nerchio wants to make sure he sees everything on the map.
That's beautiful, actually.
Putting a Pig Baby 7 observers to shame here. Fungo! He doesn't have the energy yet. Baneling's gonna roll right in and blow up a lot of these units here.
Yeah, but that's still one hell of a concave, though, to run into. And there's a couple of defensive queens here as well. But there is still that problem that a lot of the units from Nerchio are a little low on HP. They're even in supply, but 17 of those roaches are actually in
there's
production.
a fungal available now, but Nerchio has already lost so much of his army here. Let's see if he can hold on. Lands one of those big fungals. He has to pull the drones. Did Snute somehow do it?
So he needs to transfuse the spine over and over and over again. There's a lot of units on the way for Nerchio. Maybe with all the reinforcements, I think he could have enough as he's going to push his army back for now.
He killed 20 drones here.
Yeah.
Snute might just be able to expand from there and play from ahead.
Look at this. Nerchio's chasing and he's eating a lot of those corrosive balls from the Ravagers.
He got a couple of those Ravagers of Snute, though. It's regeneration time here for both of these guys' Roach's armies.
Look at units lost resources. It's pretty damn close. 15.3 against 14-1.
Still no fourth base from Snute, who's ahead in the walker count now.
4 infestors have died, and other than the fungo on the top side of the map, we didn't see that much.
Man, it's sick what Snute does in this matchup. All you need is a Dream and an R hotkey.
Ah, well, there is a fungo as well. That's a good one. That's going to leave these Ravagers quite exposed, but it still seems that Snute has way more units here than Nerchio.
Yeah. Army supply 86 for Snute, 74 for Nerchio. Both players just massing pure roaches right now. Neither trying to take a fourth base. That one lone infestor, by the way, still alive and kicking.
It's still awfully close, but I feel the fact that Nerchio enters battle with a lot of his units taking a lot of damage, that often hurts him a little bit as well. The Ravager count is definitely in favor of
he should. Actually, Snute maybe should have sniped these Evos on the left-hand side, because then he could have sneaked in some tunneling class roaches.
Yeah, that would have been nice. And he could also maybe start Carapace, because he has quite a bit of gas in the bank. And that would give him an upgrade advantage. Moving forward, slowly but steady. Good fungal there, though. That one infestor, well, it does die. No, it didn't die. I thought it died. Doing some work, but in the end, Nerchio can't capitalize on the fungal.
Nerchio actually mining out his bases faster because he had more drones.
Yeah, especially the third base is obviously going to run quite a bit longer for Snute. Snute getting a couple of overlords for free now. Supply blocking Nerchio even, so
yeah,
it's very useful.
Infestor tech is still there for Nerchio. I think he might just camp with infestors.
Nerchio just lost a lot of overlords.
Look at this guy trying to escape. Oh, he's standing on top of the army of the Ravagers. No! He almost shot at himself.
He's baiting it.
I think Snute's realizing he can burst down that wall from afar, from safety as well. Careful for that fungal, though.
2 infestors on the map.
Whoa,
now.
whoa, whoa! Oh, he almost shot at his own overlord.
And go for the rocks instead. This is both players playing that positional game. Oh, what a trap! What a trap, Todd! If he unburrows everything on top of these Ravagers, that would be so sick! Nerchio leaves the trap! surrounds a couple of these Ravagers. Is that enough to win this battle? I mean,
yeah, these were the important ones. That positioning for Snute was really poor here from there. And now Nerchio with the supply lead is going to go on the chase, land some huge fungal on top of these roaches. I can't believe this actually worked. One over here and it wouldn't have been the case.
That is so sick. And Nerchio is going to be able to clean up all these roaches and Ravagers from Snute. And without a fourth base, that's going to be it. The burrowed play from Nerchio there.
The 15 minutes maxed out mass roach burrow play.
Yeah,
it's funny because I looked at this, I was like, well, I guess he's regenerating his roaches.
Yeah.
No way this actually comes into play. But then guess what? Nerchio is just that much smarter than everybody else.
I thought the exact same thought. I looked at it and I showed it on screen, but I was like, well, you know, he was having a lot of low HP roaches before, so he's probably going to unburrow them soon. But he left them there, picked up on the fact perhaps that there was no overseer with an army of Snute, and saw it. Oh, that was sweet. That was sweet. That's like as cool as ZvZ gets for me. That was an awesome play. It was beautiful as well. I mean, Snute was desperately looking for an opening left and right. Did a pretty good job a couple of times, being able to pick off more units than he lost. But yeah, that was sick. Really, really fun. Our third game is going to be played on Honor grounds.
Man, Snute is not doing things the easy way in this. He's had so many close matches, close series. Lots of 3-2s, 3-1s at most.
Well, we said before the series that Snute wins the close series and Nerchio wins the decisive ones, because Nerchio lost more series in their history against Snute, but actually won more maps, which can also be the fact that you can say maybe Snute won a bunch of best of ones. Obviously, that could be the case as well. But I like my first argument better. Nerchio needs a minute there. That was awesome. As we just take a look at the replay. Sometimes it's really fun for us because when something really cool happens, we can take a look at the stream. And you can see Twitch chat explodes when one of the players makes a fantastic play. Winner of this series will, of course, move on. Play against Cyril. You think any of these two Todd has what it takes to defeat Cyril?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Cyril's pretty good, but either of these guys could beat him, especially in the ZvZ.
Alright, it's gonna let Nerchio know that we are ready. Ready when you are. It's a beautiful Saturday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all the WCS action. If you did, we've been getting a lot of tweets actually. We didn't really talk about it. The days where we talk about Twitter all the time on the broadcast are kind of gone.
Well, it was Nation Wars, right? Where we showed the photos and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think like having tweet like what we did at Intel Extreme Masters Katowice or WCS Katowice was a lot of fun, where you have like the ticker and every now and then you see like cool tweets, or you have a little pop-up. But more just like the tweet at us. We don't really do that very often, but we've been getting actually a lot of tweets over the last few days, and we're very happy to hear that you guys enjoyed the WCS game.
It's mostly about kebabs, though. So
yeah,
let's be honest, we couldn't show that on stream now, could we?
Why wouldn't we? What's wrong with a man eating a doner kebab?
Everything.
Yeah, I guess there is. You try to be a healthy kickboxing god like you are. But me, Todd.
I still had my kebab yesterday.
All right. Just waiting. But yeah, thanks for the tweets, guys. Thanks for all the positive comments. Of course, big shout out to everybody that's been tuning in, not just today, but over the previous days as well. And hopefully you guys are getting warmed up for WCS Austin. It happens at the end of the month, 27th to 29th of April, if I am not mistaken. But I don't think I am. As far as I know, that's going to be... I was really worried that WCS Austin was going to be at the same time as my birthday again.
Why?
Which happened last year. It's the 28th till the 1st, so I was wrong by 2 days.
Why would it be bad or something?
Because I think it's... I haven't celebrated a birthday in the Netherlands with my Dutch friends and family for a very long time.
And you would love to be streaming and get $2,000 in donations.
No, especially like my 30th birthday. I think it's a good day to...
How producer's laughing.
Well, I mean, the birthday streams are super high, but last year I had my birthday on Austin, and it was still fun. I got a cake from Jenna Bain, which was very lovely, and then Total Biscuit took us to dinner. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
It was a really cool restaurant. It was a lot of fun. I mean, In Control was there. Elkie came up as well.
If In Control's there for your birthday, usually you win, right? It's like you go to a dinner, it just makes you laugh the whole evening.
It was a lot of fun, and obviously it's you know, it's a blessing to spend a birthday with StarCraft friends. But doing my first birthday in 7 or 8 years with my Dutch family would also be nice ones, especially my 30th, because
maybe I'll ruin it and come visit you in Rotterdam.
You'd be welcome. You'd be more than welcome. We'd love to have you there, Todd. Over here on the left bottom side, as we are loading in to Honor grounds, score is 2-0 in favor of our Polish man. Looking at the main base of our Norwegian Zerk. Can he bring it back? Can he turn this one around? Win 3 games in a row. It's Snute.
Tried some aggression last game. and was met with mixed success. His opponent is the one that's going to be playing aggressive this time around on the 4 players map. It is Nerchio. At least opening with a quick speed here on a map where the ramp is quite wide. Man, these maps, I have so much trouble walling off every time.
Well, yeah, Undergrounds is not the most tricky one, I think, because you can have like pylon. Obviously, if you don't mind having a pylon in your wall off. In general, I don't think that's the word in the world, but
it is the most tricky one from the non-vetoed maps.
Oh, I hate Newkirk. I don't know what it is, but I can't wall off on Newkirk. This map has been around for years. It's embarrassing. Like I should be better at it, but I always need like this third pylon to complete my wall. Look terrible. Speed is on the way for Nerchio, as the pool is not done yet for Snute. You think Snute is gonna at least get 1 point on the board here, Todd?
Yeah, hopefully he can bring this back a little bit there. I don't know why in my mind it was 2-1 for Nerchio right now, but yeah, it is 2-0.
Both games were very entertaining, though. You know, I wasn't sure what to expect of this series since there is no prize money difference between 4th and 3rd, and having to go further, you know, Sarrow's waiting and then maybe Showtime in the grand finals, and it's obviously been a long weekend for these two as well, but they're definitely giving it all they got, and they've provided us with some very entertaining and some pretty sick moves. I mean, that Roach Rebels is awesome. Like,
yeah.
I love stuff like that.
We don't see that often too. Yeah. Like it's very, very rare. It's pretty ballsy. To be honest, I don't think it was that risky for Nerchio. It's not like the army of Snute is going to engage into it and crush it if he doesn't react instantly. He could just unburrow and then it'd still be fine.
We'll see. We'll see who decides to be aggressive first there, as Nerchio does have a couple of links on the way, but Undergrounds is a pretty large map. It's really hard to just surprise your opponent with a huge swell of links where they overdrone, especially on this level, right? The Overlord spread is always so good from these guys. So most likely, Todd, it's going to come down to the mid-game decisions. Are we going to see a Spire? Is one person going to add that Infestation Pit? Do you feel the early Infestation Pit paid off for Nerchio last game?
Yeah, I think these Infestors, they are what kept him in the game for such a long time. And then eventually kind of made Snute lose patience and attack into him. Like, sure, he won with the burrowed roaches at the end, but a lot of the fungals before that was kind of what was barely keeping him alive. Even though there was obviously this big fight on his 3rd base where Nerchio lost 20 drones, and after that he was behind, in my opinion.
The links, yeah, I guess you mean Snute, right? Snute lost the drones last game.
No, it was Nerchio's base on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, side, that one, yeah. There were 2 big fights.
He lost 20 drones.
Yeah, sorry.
And also, like, I feel like it puts Snute in this state of mind where, like, the more he waits, the worse it gets for him, so he has to attack. So, in a way, that was putting pressure on Snute just to have these bad boys out.
Evolution Chamber, morphing in the main base of Snute. Nerchio doing the exact same thing on the other side of the map. You think, are you feeling another +1 melee for Snute?
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me. Like, when the player goes for this kind of stuff in a lot of the games, usually it means that he's decided that he thought it was the best thing that he could do. Yeah. Even though, like, you can mix in obviously different things. The fact that a Roach one starts now tells me that maybe we're going to be seeing +1 missile. Yep.
Yeah, he
so
doesn't
I corrected at the last second and I got it right.
He doesn't have the link count this time, right? I guess in the other games he always had at least 18, 20 links, and that's enough to do some work.
And he hasn't had any success yet so far, this +1 melee here in.
It's fun though. Snute has created a pretty nice worker advantage for himself. He's up at 10 workers, which actually is a little fascinating. Nerchio, how did that happen, Todd? I mean, Nerchio is producing quite a few drones as well, but everything is pretty much identical. That's really weird.
Snute is very, very good at squeezing out a couple extra drones here and there. It's almost like his hidden talent.
Yeah, I mean, it's been almost...
it's like a passive, you know, like in one of those games.
Yeah, he did open up a little more economic, so I guess that just kind of snowballed one by one, and eventually it allowed him to get that nice 5, 6, 7, 8 worker advantage that he's currently enjoying. Nerchio started producing roaches a little faster, but Snute has his own roaches on the way now. This is going to be traditional ZvZ, Todd. It's going to be roaches playing tug of war in the middle of the map. I can see it happen. I'm going to have an epic battle around this gold. And eventually one guy is going to have 1 extra roach. Nerchio actually morphing.
And then it is all over.
Nerchio's morphing Ravages, Todd, over here on the high ground. How we feel
Look
about
at
it?
his queens on a mission.
Snipes that Overlord, that's very nice. 8 roaches on the way.
Snute is delaying the taking of these additional gases a lot. On his third base, look at Nerchio. He's going to saturate those quicker and go into Infestus again. That's weird because Snute is the one that used to go into Infestus a lot of the time. Remember the series against Jaedong and stuff?
Always the 3 Infestus, right? In Heart of the Swarm, Snute had his build where he would always get those 3 Infestus.
The magic number, man.
No patch in the glance and
just like Colossi once upon a time.
Seen so many ZvZs of Snute that played out all the same way on the maps like Coda. We always had his 3 Infestus and was always able to get a couple of good fights off. We'll see how it plays out this time. Obviously, it's hard. Tournament live online. He's getting zone infestation pit this time.
Oh, snap. Yeah. Give me that Roach Infestor against Roach Infestor war.
Well, if there's one thing that I like to favor Snute in, it almost has to be it. Other than that, this is still 100% a mirror. Snute had obviously a few more drones and a small economic lead. Nerchio is taking the gold as his sport. I kind of like that. It's not something I see super often on undergrounds, but I'm a fan, Todd. Sign me up.
I was talking about how Snute took the gases a little bit late. On his third base, look at the fourth base. He's already taken them here a little bit before the hatchery was fully saturated on the minerals. So he's going to want to work on that. And we're going to have a basketball match over there. Who can land the most 3 points?
I think there's a good chance we're going to see at least Carapace upgrades this time as well, right? Because both players are just richer than they were in the previous game. So I highly doubt that we're going to see +2 like it was in the last game and nothing else. First Infestor. Burrow already being researched this time for Nerchio. His Burrow was a little bit late to the party. Snute not getting it. Snute is getting an Overseer though. He's like, that's not going to happen again. You know,
never again.
You know, it always feels worse, right, when you make the highlight reel of your opponent. It's just like, okay, that's going to be on Reddit. Like, I ran into the trap. Haha. Well done, well done. It's like, I'm not clicking the thread. I'm not reading it.
But then you have to click it.
Oh, uh-oh. Look at this. 8 Overlords. Nerchio busting out the mass Drop-a-Lord play in ZvZ now
in this
as
kind
well.
of position where like the natural is very easy to drop into and hard for the opponent to get there to defend, it's very smart to go for that, especially because before that, he has a lot of vision from the watchtower. He made sure there is not many overlords very close on the way. Remember, he was kind of camping that gold here for a little bit and kind of still is.
This is an invasion of roaches.
Oh, wow, he's so close to that overlord of Snute that I might actually spot this.
Well, Snute is also distracted by the army in the middle of the map. He's going to see it now. Can Snute react in time? A lot of them are empty. Nerchio is obviously going to strike at 2 places at once, right? He's going to try to maybe pick off the 4th or even the 3rd, but Snute also knows the army is still there.
Oh, and he has an Infestor here that could land a huge 3-pointer.
You know, these roaches in the main not doing all that much. Can Nerchio get anything done? He has the fungals, but
5 drones died. Pretty good defense here by Snute. Split exactly right enough. He saw with his Overseer that some of the army of Nerchio was going to attack there.
Yeah, but Nerchio said like, all right, you know,
Round 2.
I saw you didn't really respect my drop, so let me just do it one more time. But this time all the Overlords are full. Units are dropped one by one. Fungal could land, and Fungal does land. It's still hard, of course, because the units unload one by one, but Nerchio has way more here than Snute.
And Snute sent everything to that main base. Now he's going to be hit on the 3rd base by a lot of the army of Nerchio, looking to try and do some economic damage here at the same time.
This is sick, though. Sick play by Nerchio. Has to be careful. Has to be careful that he doesn't lose too many. He's not focusing that much. He's instead just fighting the units of Snute. This is all very cool and fancy, but we have to ask ourselves, is this going well so far?
Yeah, remember that Snute, he lost quite a few walkers there. If he replaces those with army and maxes out on roaches, he's going to have way more than Nerchio. They're on equal upgrades right now. But Snute does have tunneling claws. I really wish that in the previous game he had used those too.
There's still a couple of Drop-a-Lords that have a few more units inside of it. I think Snute is going to do what you said.
Nerchio realizes what's happening too. He starts a bunch of spine crawlers at home there.
Yeah, that's very cool. And I also like that he's splitting it up now. He's basically telling Snute, you have to choose. Do you want to keep any of your mineral lines alive? If so, leave units behind. And Snute obviously doesn't want that. Snute wants to pull everything. 154 army supply right now for Snute, who's completely unaware, by the way.
He needs to go for it right now because Nerchio is going to be ready, looking to try and pick off some of these units out of position here.
Snute is completely unaware of the gold. He's actually not losing that many drones at home. I'm impressed because I have the feeling that he pulled everything.
Yeah, Nerchio bought a lot of time here with this running around, and now the spines are all finished. Snute's gonna go for it. It's gonna be one big effort here to try and come back in this game. If this attack doesn't work, I do believe he will have lost the game.
Yeah, Spines are so tanky though. Spines are really incredibly good in fights like this. And obviously don't forget about the quicker reinforcements from our Polish Zerg. Nerchio as well, who's gonna get on top of these Ravagers. And I think we are going to see Nerchio versus Serral as our next match here on the main stream, as Nerchio is going to be able to clean up the majority of these roaches, and Snute has to know that he's in a lot of trouble.
These dropper lords. Nerchio is the only Zerg that I've seen use them, and he uses them so well. Every time it seems obvious how good it is and how much it's going to do. He's really good with it.
That's sick. He can do it again. He can pick up a few more units, and that's exactly what he's gonna do.
It's funny too, because it's always situations where like the opponent doesn't have, like, you know, if it's in ZvZ, there's not enough anti-air when he does it. And then in ZVP, again, there is usually not enough anti-air because it's just a bunch of Archons that can't walk inside of the wall.
This is like a multitasking nightmare to deal with. You have to worry about roaches from a dropper lord that can get picked up, and there is also Burrow. Like, it just gets worse. Snute has had enough. He's gonna run up this ramp. Good micro there. Do you see that? He's picking up Ravages. How cute. Now he's going to burrow a few Ravages as well. And that really has to be it. GG. Nerchio with the clean sweep. And what a sick display of skill in ZvZ.
Not wasting any time here. Looking really good, but guess what? Serral was watching the whole time and is the next boss that Nerchio has to take on.
Do you think he's impressed? Because I'm pretty impressed by Nerchio in this series.
He's probably impressed, but at the same time he thinks, I'm better than this.
Oh, well, we're about to find out, Todd. Unfortunately, this is where it ends for Snute. As you guys can see in the bracket as well. He still places top 4. He still gets a direct seed into WCS Austin, which is obviously what he was aiming for. Would have loved to gone further. Means that we are getting ready for our final 3. Showtime is waiting in that grand finals. He has been waiting for a while. Serral versus Nerchio is up next. Todd, any final thoughts about the ZvZ series we just saw?
No, it was nice to see, and it's a good build-up for the next one. I think like all the things that we saw from Nerchio, it kind of feels like all of his best tricks, and Serral's gonna be ready. But with Nerchio, you never know.
I enjoyed it though. How would you rate it? Scale 1 to 10.
I rate 8.
8?
It's
Cool.
a meme.
Or what about 5 out of 7?
Are you tired or?
No, that's a terrible Reddit thingy as well. Anyway, we'll be right back, guys. We're going to get ready for a small break, and after that, we'll be back with our next ZvZ series. Should be a really good one. Is Serral the new hotshot on the block when it comes to European Zergs, or is Nerchio still on top? We're about to find out.
Let's end this thing.